Hey, let's go. Are you wondering what it'll actually cost to live in Virginia Beach this year? Let's break it down in a way that lets your budget breathe. I'm Deane. Back in 2010, I moved here for grad school, shipped my grandfather's old Ford Ranger up from St. Croix, burned through savings, and honestly, I had no idea if it would work. Spoiler alert, it did. In 2012, I met my wife. Now we're both realtors with RE/MAX Alliance, and we homeschool our 5-year-old son. But before I moved, I would have loved a clear, honest walkthrough like this one I'm about to give you. This is the guidance I wish I had. Quick roadmap so you know what's coming. This one is the big picture: housing, utilities, transportation, groceries, childcare, healthcare, and taxes. If housing is your main question, rent bans, resale bans, and how to estimate the mortgage, I've got a separate deep dive for that. I'll point you there as we go. Let's start with housing, because it is the anchor. On the rental side, over the past 6 months, you'll see 1-bedrooms down around $1,000 on the low end, and up into the mid-2s on the high end. 2-bedrooms usually live somewhere between about $1,200 and a little over $3,000. 3-bedrooms carry the market. Almost half of all leases, and those typically run from the mid-14s up to just under $5,000 depending on age, finishes, and location. Once you step into 4 and 5 bedrooms, expect a floor in the high teens and a ceiling that can touch $6,000 when you're near the water or in premium pockets. If you're thinking of buying instead of renting, here's the view from 30,000 feet. 3-bedroom resales show up the most, roughly 42% of the sales, because that size fits a lot of real families and real budgets. Inland, single family 3 beds tend to cluster around the $400,000 mark. Call it high 300s to the low 400s, usually about 1,400 to 1,800 square feet. 2 baths, often a garage. You'll also see newer or near coast condos and townhomes that sell for a similar sticker price, but shift costs into the monthly with HOA or condo fees. So if you want more space, newer construction, or a stronger demand pocket, you'll start creeping into the mid 400s and can run up towards 700 depending on the neighborhood and condition. And if the dream is ocean or bay, the price is mostly about water and walkability. Think high 8s, 9s, low 1s, and up from there. You probably won't hear many agents say this, but renting first for 6 to 12 months can be smart. It buys you time to explore neighborhoods, commute patterns, school zones, and just the vibe, where you feel like you want to be. Some folks can easily afford to buy and still choose to rent for the season they're in, or for flexibility, or for location you can't buy into yet. Either path can be right. My job is to help you feel confident in your choice. Utilities. Comfort costs a little, and it swings with the weather. Electricity for a typical household here often lands right around $200, maybe a touch over $209 on average across the year. The AC usage pumps the electric bill during the summer months, so be prepared for that. Add roughly $70 for water, sewer, and trash. For internet and TV bundles, figure $100 to $125 depending on the package. But frankly, most people I know aren't going with cable. They're just doing internet and whatever streaming services they prefer. Now, those can add up as well if you're not careful, so pay attention. Natural gas homes will see higher prices during the winter. The averages are helpful for planning, but you don't pay an average, you pay your bill. And bigger and older homes will nudge those numbers up. Newer insulation and smart thermostats also help. So does picking the right size house for how you actually live. And those things can make a difference. Transportation looks friendly at first glance, and mostly it is. The average commute time here sits a little under the national number. Think about 23 to 24 minutes on a typical day. Gas prices tend to run a bit lower than the US average, which is a nice break. The part that sneaks up on newcomers is the tunnels and tolls, midtown and downtown especially. $3 or so each way in peak, which means if you cross daily, you can quietly add $100 or more a month to the transportation line. And if your routes stay inside Virginia Beach, you may never see a toll. But if your life spans the Elizabeth River, put a small cushion in the budget for Easy Pass and the occasional fee or ticket that shows up weeks later. By the way, if that happens, pay them immediately. A small toll will soon get a $50 collection fee added before long, and $3 will become $153 before you know it. Just saying. Food next, because it's usually your runner-up after housing. A typical household that cooks at home will land somewhere around $500 to $630 a month on groceries, depending on family size and where you shop. Aldi and Lidl do stretch the dollars, and specialty stores don't, but if you're a slightly neurotic foodie like we are, then please do. My wife and I can tell you where the best butchers are, where to get fresh fish, crab rolls that are brought down from Maine every day, bakeries, etc. Just know you're gonna feel the markup for quality, even while your belly is thanking you for it. And dining out adds up faster than people think. Nationally, families average $350 to $400 a month on restaurants. Near the boardwalk in peak season here, you'll feel the tourism premium. The local move is simple. Enjoy the ocean, eat a few blocks inland, and chase the off-season specials. A hack that we found is to check out happy hours like the one at Atlantic on Pacific. That way you can get quality and a reasonable price. If you've got little ones, like we do, childcare is the line item that can feel like a second house payment. Infant care commonly runs about $13.50 a month, toddlers around $12.50, and 2 kids under 5 can land between $2,500 and $2,700. That cost is only part of it. Hours, wait lists, and proximity work matter too. We homeschool our son, so our version looks different, but I see this number hit families hard. Plan it early if it applies to you. If it doesn't, well, then your budget's a little freer from all those things. Healthcare here is pretty close to the national norms on paper. The stress tends to be timing, not just price. The bill shows up after you feel better and you've forgotten about it. Simple buffer that works for a lot of folks is to set aside around 10% of income for premiums, prescriptions, and the random urgent care visit. Most years you won't need it, hopefully. And when you do, those dollars are already allocated and it keeps the month from going sideways. Now, taxes. Let's keep it simple. Virginia's top state income tax is 5.75%. Most middle income households end up near that. So sales tax in the city is 6% on general goods, but prepared meals stack up to about 11.5% when you include the meals tax. So eating out carries a little bit of extra tax. Property tax sits right around 1% of the assessed value in Virginia Beach. That's lower than a lot of Northeast states. The one that people forget here is the personal property tax on vehicles. The city bills a percentage of your car's value each year. There's a state relief on the first chunk, but something like a $20,000 car, you might see roughly $400 net after relief. It's not the end of the world, it just needs a small sinking fund so it doesn't surprise you. If you're still with me, you're clearly serious about doing this the right way, and I respect that. What's coming in the series are the quiet costs and trade-offs that shape your days. Time lost to certain commutes, fees that live in the fine print, choices that affect how your family actually spends the week. Before you click away, I'm curious, what surprised you most so far? Tolls, childcare, or that car tax? Just drop one word in the comments. I read them all, and it helps me decide what to unpack next. That's the big picture, enough to build a budget that feels comfortable, not tight. If housing is where you need more clarity, watch my housing deep dive next. I cover the 4 rental bans, the 3 bed resale bans, and a simple way to estimate a mortgage at 3 in the morning without calling anyone. Question for you. What line item worries you most right now? Housing, childcare, or taxes? Whatever you're interested in, I'll do a video on that next. Drop one word below, and if you want something tailored, comment bans for rentals or buy lists for a purchase shortlist, and I'll send a one-pager that matches your budget. All right? Take care. Peace.
Thank you.